Well, now we go from concerns about the weather to concerns about what some are calling efforts at voter suppression of Native Americans in North Dakota. The state and tribal governments say they are working to make sure all eligible citizens can vote. We have team coverage with Daniela Hurtado and Megan Hoffman on the issue. First, we go to Megan to tell us what people at the Capitol are saying. Megan?
Alan, Secretary of State Al Jaeger and Indian Affairs Commission Executive Director Scott Davis tell us all the tribal governments are issuing free IDs to anyone who needs one. Those IDs will include a physical address, which is necessary to be able to cast a ballot. Davis says he is confident everyone will have the opportunity to vote.
Sometimes these changes, you kind of come out of the gate a little confused, but I really believe we're in a really good place here.
Jaeger says if necessary, they'll use set-aside ballots. That means they can mark the ballot and they have 7 days to go back to county officials to present the correct identification. Daniela Hurtado went to see how the ID distribution is going on the state's reservations. Danny?
Megan, more than 2,000 people have already gotten new IDs ahead of the election. Nearly 500 of those are in Standing Rock, and many people I spoke to in Fort Yates today say the voter suppression they feel is building a lot of momentum to get out and vote and have their voices heard. Native American voter activists say they have a map of the area and are having people point to where their homes are and are finding the closest legal address and using it.
Nearly 6 boots are on the ground to help Native Americans get their IDs in time to vote.
I was upset, really. It's just like they just took our rights away from what we were going to do. So we have to stand up, and the way I believe is to stand up and fight back.
And they're doing just that. A yellow house on the outskirts of Fort Yates is headquarters for this all-hands-on-deck operation to get Native American voters to the polls.
The notion of having to get new IDs within a month of the election, it's a total scramble, and it's a difficult challenge that every tribe in the state of North Dakota is facing right now, including Standing Rock. But they are meeting that challenge.
The Lakota People's Law Project, along with the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe and Four Directions, are going door to door.
I think we're doing a positive thing. We're trying to make changes for the better for our people.
They say this weekend is pivotal to getting the last round of voters.
And the state is expecting a bigger turnout of Native American voters than ever before. In Standing Rock alone, the number of return ballots as of Friday is more than triple the largest submitted absentee ballot numbers in years prior, which was fewer than 80.
If North Dakota was indeed trying to suppress the Native American vote, as some critics charged after new identification rules were upheld, it certainly backfired. The state says it was only trying to verify where voters lived. Voter turnout yesterday in Sioux County, which is North Dakota's part of the Standing Rock Reservation, was higher than it was for the 2016 presidential election. County Auditor Barb Heddick says 1,464 voters cast their ballots. Daniela Hurtado was in Fort Yates today to get reaction from tribal members about the voter turnout.
Signs like these were posted all over the reservation, encouraging people to vote. The people we spoke to in Fort Yates say the momentum started with the voter ID situation, but the momentum to vote continued because of the support they had with one another.
We all came together as one.
It was an all-hands-on-deck operation at this yellow house in Fort Yates to get as many voters to the polls as possible.
First time I voted in like 15 years, and I felt like, I don't know, amazing or powerful or something. I was like, I want to vote again.
Hundreds unifying to have their voices heard.
We're going to continue to stand. And what really made me proud is we all came together as a big family community of the nation here.
They say they're just a grain of salt in the bigger conversation across the country with voting rights for Native Americans.
The feeling here is not of sadness or defeat or loss. There's too much positive energy that we built up, that we're excited about the future.
She says this momentum helps people on the reservation get motivated to eventually run for office in their community, statewide, and perhaps one day nationally. The many people we spoke to say they're proud of the voter turnout, but they say this is just the beginning and this was a test run for the 2020 election. In Fort Yates, Daniela Hurtado, your election leader.